Hello, beautiful soul family. Rebecca here, your vibe mentor, bringing you another video on how to raise your vibration so you can live your best life. Welcome to Monday Magic Intuitive Energy Reading. This is your first time here. Welcome to the family. If you have been here before, you know that Monday Magic Intuitive Energy Reading is just my read on the current energies. That may or may not match where you are at, but I often find that people find comfort in being in this with someone, that if you are experiencing any of the energies in a similar way to what I am experiencing it, it may bring you comfort to know that you are not alone in this. So the energy is very interesting this week. I tend to sometimes look back as well as a little bit forward, but really focus on where we're at right now, because of course, being present is the name of the game. So over the last couple of weeks, last couple of months, we had some pretty intense and heavy energies. This past week, especially, there was a busyness. There was a maybe even a sense of overwhelm, that there was a piling on sense, that things just kept coming at us. And there were more and more things for us to do. And of course, we live in a hustle culture. And so that is not foreign to us, but it was amplified this past week. And now in the past 24, 48 hours, there's a strong sense of rebalancing and even a knowing of the need to rebalance coming in this past week. And now we are experiencing an energy that is asking us to recalibrate, to adjust, to review and revise. Of course, Mars is retrograde, has been and will be for a couple more months. Neptune did just turn direct, so we have less planets in retrograde than we usually do, but there is a strong sensation of that need to review and revise and adjust, rebalance, to sift through what is really important and what needs to fall away. There is oftentimes things will be clear that they are needed. This rebalancing is needed through the over amplification of overwhelm, of busyness, and again, that hustle culture. And it has become more and more clear and evident in my life that that has to fall away. And it can be interesting when, as a Capricorn rising, you enjoy the work, right? And so finding a new balance between working for joy and working because we believe we have to. And that is just how the rebalancing is showing up in my life. There's also a sense of sort of separating ourselves from the programs, right? The belief systems that we have been taught, we have been told that we have to live by, separating ourselves from what they told us we should do or need to do or have to do, and really stepping back into the truth of what is right for us. And knowing that there is no prescription of what life is supposed to look like. No one can tell you what is right for you. So as we separate ourselves from that program, from the shoulds of the world, we redefine what life looks like for us, what nurtures us, what feeds us, what is right for us, because that ultimately is what is necessary to raise our vibration and to be in a state where we are fully activated and empowered and taking our power back. It's interesting that as we separate from those programs, those shoulds, those cultural norms, to put it mildly, we start to see the power of our choices. We start to see the evidence that the brain needs to believe that I am the creator of my environment, that what I see around me is a projection of the beliefs in my mind and even the things I resist. And as I start to make a new choice, I start to put down some of those mentalities we can see how we have created not only the beautiful things in our life, but also our challenges and even our prisons in some cases. We build our own walls around us. And that ability to choose a new way becomes even more profound as we step into the knowing of it. It starts with belief, but as we do make new choices, as we rebalance, we recalibrate, we put down the things that are holding us back or causing us pain, we break free from our own prisons. We are truly creating all that is around us. And the more that you believe, accept, choose differently, the more evidence you will see of what you are able to create. The more that we remember that we are creators because we are one with the Creator. We are an aspect of the divine, like the finger on the body of the source of all that is. We cannot be anything but creators in our own right. Certainly with humility and understanding that we do have free will to an extent, and that is in the way we choose to believe, the perspective that we choose to see. But from there, we are so intimately connected with Source that we cannot be separate from the greater divine plan. And in that is the peace, the joy, the fulfillment that we seek. As we learn to love what is, understanding that we have a small amount of control, but most of it is not up to us, that we are being lived by life. There is freedom in that. We can surrender the struggle. We can surrender control. Surrender the belief that it's all up to us, that we're in this alone. We've got to get it all figured out. We got to solve all our problems. That hustle culture comes from a belief of being separate from source, being separate from abundance, being separate from health and wholeness and wellness, happiness. That is the beauty of this, is there isn't anything for us to do, to accomplish, or to chase. And many times in our hustle, our overwhelm, we've created a prison for ourselves, a belief that we have to do all these things, either running from something or running towards something. The beauty is that something is already here. We just can't see it because of the perspective that we choose, because of the overwhelm, the belief in separation, the belief in lack, the belief in not enoughness. The answer is easier than we ever could have imagined. Releasing the resistance to what is, loving what is, seeing that while this reality that we see around us is here because of us, we created it, it's also as much or more so created by the divine through us. And as we stop resisting what is, we love what is, we fall in love with what is. And what does it mean to love something? Think about the thing or the person that you love more than anything in the entire world. You can see no wrong. There are no judgments. It's absolute perfection. Zero resistance. That's what love is. That's where the peace is. That's where the happiness is. Because as we release that resistance, we see the beauty that is all around us in every situation, enjoyable or challenging. We actually allow more beauty to come through. We see less of the undesirable because we don't judge it anymore. We're not in resistance to it. As we recognize the perfection in all that is, we recognize our oneness. We start to see how beautiful life can be, how beautiful life is meant to be. We start to be in awe of the divine, this game called life. And as we see the beauty in that, we see the beauty in ourselves. Because we see the I am as beautiful, we see the beauty in ourselves and in each other. There is such a lightness and a freedom that comes from that place of just letting it be. As we notice in every moment, in every thought, the resistance, and consciously choose to put it down moment after moment after moment, the profound beauty increases. The freedom and the peace that just washes over you and through you. You start to realize this is what they were trying to tell us about all along. So whether or not you are still a little bit in the overwhelm, or if you're starting to notice and enact the rebalancing, know that you deserve to have your needs met. You deserve your dreams. The divine wants you to be at peace, to be fulfilled, to be happy. If we are connected with the consciousness and the source and the creator, if we are all one, we are all feeling this. So of course, he, she, it, they, them wants to feel good too. And that happens through you. So look at those areas where you believe you have to do this thing. I have no other way. Look at the prisons that you have created for yourself. The walls, the barriers, they are in the limitations that you choose. I can't leave this country. I can't go on that trip. I can't leave that job. I can't leave this relationship. I can't work any less than 12 hours a day. Those are all chosen limitations, walls we have built around ourselves. The name of the game is freedom. The freedom comes from letting go of those beliefs. When we remove the limitations, we often see that those have come from a place where we believe we are lacking. I can't leave this job because I won't be financially cared for. I won't have my needs met. I will struggle. Also, beliefs that we choose. So when we let go of that and we surrender into that job is not good for me. So I'm going to let it go. And it's going to be scary. That's where we lean into loving what is, loving what comes up in us. Those scary emotions we don't face because we fear they will last forever. But truly, they only stick around because we ignore them. So when we rest in to feeling what needs to be felt, we move through it and it dissipates. We love it for the beauty and the gift that it is. We let it be. Just let it be what it is. And that will be your solution. Not the clinging to the thing that you think is going to solve or prevent. The clinging to is what creates the prison, the walls, the blocks, the barriers, the limitations. Loving what is, what comes after letting go of those blocks, letting it be, is what causes everything to shift. It's a beautiful time of year to have a beautiful energy. Very timely with the end of the year celebrations. It's a good time to review, revise, revisit, and recalibrate. It's a good time to let go. It's a good time to start anew. I love you, my friends. I'll see you on the next video. Namaste.